And so then we see stats like what stopped me in my tracks when I saw the report coming out from Accenture and Girls Who Code, who found that half of young women who go into tech jobs leave by the age of 35. This is not a coincidence. We're all raising children, and now we're teaching children at home. And do you know the primary reason cited in that study of why these women are dropping out is non-inclusive company culture. You know what I hear in that answer? You are not worthy. I won't accommodate you. And so this can't continue. It can't. And organizations like Women in Cloud bring us all together to ask these important questions. And so what I believe, and what I think many of us in the industry are seeing, especially those of us that focus on talent, is that we're at a tipping point. Hopefully not a breaking point, but a tipping point. And there's 5 trends that suggest this tipping point is underway. The first trend, of course, is women leaving the market in record numbers due to the childcare crisis. We're seeing, posts like Marshall asking for Marshall plans to pay women for their childcare responsibilities at home. This revolution has taken women out of the workforce in record numbers, and it's heartbreaking. I actually had a friend of mine, published author and a thought leader on interior design, say to me, Carrie said, "Brea, I need you to keep working because I cannot." And boy, if that's not motivating, I don't know what else is. Trend number 2 is long overdue, and that is our brand's commitments to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Of course, we saw a social justice reckoning in 2020 that called to the mat all of our organizations. What are we here for? What is our purpose? And this investment in DE&I is really starting to transform the way brands consider talent and people in their businesses and in their products. Trend 3, as a result of trend 1 and 2, is that now brands and organizations are thinking about mental health as part of their employer responsibility, which never would have existed for my mother or my grandmother's generation. Trend 4 is a term that Microsoft coined called tech intensity. And this is the idea that it's an organization's rate of technology adoption, along with its ability to bring its own digital capability. And so I think of this as humans plus tech equals capacity. And if we have tech and humans working well together, our capacity for growth and profit is bigger. And lastly, the trend that I am so encouraged by is the freelance revolution we're all a part of. So trend number 5 is the freelance workforce. We're seeing micro entrepreneurs and freelancers pop up new businesses at an incredible clip, and forecasts show that more than half of Americans will be freelance by 2027. Think of that in our workforce. That is a tremendous change in the way in which our workforce is built. And so these 5 trends suggest that the power dynamic is shifting in virtually every sector. And the great news is, the truth is that brands and organizations need good, talented, productive people to do work. And if women and underrepresented populations are unavailable for all of the reasons that we've talked about, then we must create new paths. There has to be innovation in the way in which our workplaces are designed. And so the challenge for decision makers is to not think of this as accommodation. It's instead to think of this as a strategic advantage, that you may be able to access the right kind of brilliant minds at the right time as you need them.